What's going on in Hot Atlanta? Live from Swanky 93.3 and the Heat 94.6 brings back the hottest hip-hop radio show live from K.L.P Entertainment and K.L.P Studios. Go! It's K.L.P Aftermath. Morning with your host, K.L.P Kennedy Lucas.
You know what it is? Put your hands up.
Tune in now on any audio platform.
Go.
Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, y'all know what time it is. Hey, that's a little vibe I'm on, T. Hey, come on out. Hey, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, it's time. Shout out to all the Atlanta podcasters, radio people out there, the scammers and the scamettes. Oh, yeah. Yeah, buddy. Hey, leeway. Come on now. Shout out to all the lovers out there, man. It's feeling good outside. Feeling so good outside. Made me want to go wash my car. Yeah, buddy. 10 years in this thing, y'all. 10 years in this thing. 10 years of podcasting, man. Y'all see the set. Y'all like last week, the last episode. Hey, come on, Black Tuxedo. Hey, now let me just, feel the vibe, you know? Just, this is the things I be working out to. Shout out to all the gym goers, the gym sharks, and the gym junkies. I'm part of that crew. I'm part of that clue. Hey, come on out. Shout out to Our Heart Radio, back on Our Heart Radio. Shout out to them. Apple Podcasts, Spotify, YouTube. Mixcloud, what's up? Mixcloud, we got the podcast on Mixcloud now, so we going far with this thing. K.L.P Aftermath podcast episode. Shout out to all my family members that listen and watch the show either on Facebook Watch. Hey, ladies and gentlemen. Hey, leeway. Oh, I love that song. Hey, I feel like I'm about to DJ right now. Hey, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the podcast episode, ladies and gentlemen. This is the K.L.P Aftermath. This is, I want to say maybe Wednesday or maybe Tuesday's episode. I might upload on Tuesday tonight. I might just do that because I'm just feeling it. Guys, welcome back to the K.L.P Aftermath podcast episode. I'm your gracious, highly favored, humbled, grateful to be alive, grateful to have lungs in my body, grateful to be lean and trim and muscled up because of Crunch Nova. Shout out to them. Your podcast host, K.L.P Kennedy Lucas, is in the building. Thank you. Yeah, we back. Guys, like I said, I want to say this was yesterday's episode, 10 years. We're celebrating 10 years of podcasting. You see the bug right there in the video when we do post-edit. Let me tell you, 10 years in this thing, y'all. 10 years of podcasting and going through it. You guys want to know the story? Watch yesterday's episode because I dabbled into yesterday's episode of where it started. Obviously, started at GGC with me podcasting. And I want to tell y'all something. GGC actually responded to my post. Very, very excited for that because you typically with universities, you kind of have to be careful because a lot of universities some universities don't like to comment on like alumni's posts because they don't want to seem not stockish, but they have to be kind of careful. So somebody, don't know who runs their Instagram account, somebody reached out to me and just was saying, congratulations, Kennedy. We're glad that you are alumni at GGC. We're glad that you had a great time. And I did this thing, T, and I hope GGC is listening to this episode because I did this thing that I said to him, GGC has my heart. If you ever want to start a radio station or if GGC ever starts a radio station and wants to learn how to podcast and just really blow it up in a good way, when it comes down to the university having a radio station, having an official school podcast, they know how to reach me because GGC Alumni Association sends me emails every day about something. They know how to reach me. I reached out to them. I said, hey, if they want to do that, just let me know. Somebody, again, at GGC said, hey, they don't know if it's in the works, but they'll keep that in mind. They don't know if there's a market for it. Yes, there is a market for it, right? I think, and sources are telling me that I think that they're still trying to find interns for Grizzlies on Air. That was the radio station that we were supposed to start in 2019, but obviously 2020 happened. There is a market for it. It's going to cost you, though. And that's just the one thing. It's not just no shame on GGC. There's a lot of universities, right? They need to know the plan. They need to know how much it costs because there is some sort of cost to this thing. But like I say to GGC in my messaging, and I say it again on this show, GGC, if you ever want to start a podcast or a radio and you need me to kind of help you form it, my door is always open. But celebrating 10 years of this thing has been quite amazing. So I'm very blessed. I'm very happy to be here in the studio. Our new set, by the way, a lot of people have been liking they've been commenting and they've been messaging me about the new set. It's just kind of like not the radio station version. A lot of people did ask where the radio station set goes. We don't have that set anymore. We sold it because we're building this new set and this is going to be the new wave. So I think a lot of people like this set better than my old set. So, it's growth, it's growth. Humbled to be here. Almost was late, y'all. I tell y'all this. If you guys don't know by now, and I tell you, I like to tell stories here on the podcast before we talk about the conversations and what we want to talk about. I got quite a few reviews to do today. I was almost late to the studio because I needed to charge my car. Now, if you guys don't know about electric vehicles, they're very interesting. I'm still learning a lot with my electric vehicle and understanding how to maximize the range of that electric vehicle. But I was almost late because I'm pulling up, and where I live in particular, won't name the specifics of where I live because I don't want people knowing really where I live. But around the area of my house, there is charge stations around. Obviously, yes, I do charge at home sometimes when it's convenient. Right. But sometimes I like to go to the charge stations and find a level 3 charging. If you guys don't know what level 3 charging is, it is the fastest charge that you can get for your EV. And I tell you, man, a lot of people, and if I post on my story about my car, and if some people think it's douchey, I apologize. The reason why I'm saying this is because I'm pulling up to the level 3 charge station, my little secret spot, right? There's one that a lot of people don't know about that does level 3 charging. I go there all the time. It's about 5 minutes from my house. That is my sacred place to charge if I need a fast charge, right? Boy, howdy, when I pulled up on that charger, y'all, and it had one person charging their electric vehicle and another person waiting to get to that charger because they know level 3 charges fast. Level 3 does about 30 to 40 minutes within a charge, which is really fast. And that's why I always go to that if I just need like a little top off real quick and I ain't really pressed for that kind of time. Because typically with level 2, it takes 4 hours. Level 1, that's all night, right? That's got to be charging at home where you ain't got nowhere to be until the next morning, right? That's going to take a while. Long and behold, I pulled up. And a lot of companies make EVs. It's not just the Teslas that makes the EVs. It's the Fords are starting to make EVs. Chevrolet makes EV. And then my electric vehicle is a BMW. Again, not flexing, but it's a BMW, right? So every car manufacturer they're starting into the EV world. I pulled up and there's this lady, old white lady. I'm pulling up and I'm trying to read her meter to see how much, because typically in the charge station, it'll tell you how much time does that car has to charge, right? So I'm pulling up, I'm trying to weave around to see what's going on, how long she's going to be in charge. Because I learned nowadays, you got to be careful. You can't just pull up on somebody and ask them how long they're going to be in there for a charging thing because they get scared, right? So again, there's no race behind this, but older white lady, I'm a black man, you kind of have to be careful in that game, right? So I'm pulling up, trying to look over her car to see how much time she had, and she gave me the most, and I mean the most awkward stare of them all. You could tell she was an older white lady that's missing some teeth because they I'm not picking on them, but they smile like that. Or they have that. in their face because you can tell they ain't got no teeth. So she was like, and I'm like, whoa, lady, you giving me a stare right now. You ain't never seen a black man in an EV car before? She looked at me. So I'm like, okay, I'm just going to just weave it out and then charge you when I get home because I don't want to have to wait. There was another lady that was in another EV from Chevrolet that she was waiting for that exact pump. I do wish that we have a lot more level 3 chargers around Georgia because level 3 is and I get it because level 3 trying to install a level 3 charger is expensive, right? It's expensive to the company, it's expensive to source out that type of power. I really do think that we need to get away from the level 2 charging in some of these places unless you charging it up for work and then you don't plan on going anywhere else. I think we do need a lot more level 3 chargers because it's 40 minutes on a 80% charge. Fast, easy, quick. I'm reading a book and listening to a book and then just going about my day. But like I say, that lady gave me the most awkward stare of them all. So I hope that lady understands that, other people can have EVs. And then the funny thing is, her EV wasn't really that good looking, right? I could tell it was a little bit of an older EV and, it's been used and it didn't even look that good, right? And I'm just going to come out and say it. And this is me saying, with an electric vehicle being a BMW, I think I got the coolest car in the world. Obviously, there's more cars out there that does way better than mine. But I just think I'm just in my boa like, hey, I got the coolest car of them all. But I'm just like, lady, you nice EV, I guess. It's an SUV, so it's probably taking you longer to charge, but I have an EV too. This lady over here, she has an EV too. You ain't that special. And that's why I said at the beginning of it, if I post about my car and making it sound special, like I love my vehicle, but I'm sorry because I kind of get it. I kind of get it. I kind of get where a lot of people, when they get their vehicles, especially if it's a car that's like exotic, they think they're hot shit, right? I went to the gym today and I saw this guy who is just, he's funny looking because I joke with that because he's smiley every time I come into the gym. He's smiley. He did apologize one time because he tried to show me how to work out. And I hate it when people do that. When you try to show me how to do a form better when I'm listening to music, right? And I'm in my zone. I don't really want to talk to people. That gets annoying. But I finally saw the car he drive. And it looks like, I want to say it's a Corvette. It's a white Corvette. And it was him just like, I'm like, he is the happiest man in the world. And I'm like, okay, so that's the kind of car he drives. I can see why he has that personality because he has his car. But shout out to the guy. I mean, I wish I knew his name. I see him again and say, hey, I saw you driving your car. It's kind of nice. It's white. Mine's white too. Hey, it's nice. It feels good to be in that nice car gang, right? But just the guy was just so excited. But I understand when people get these type of vehicles, they have a certain feeling of confidence, a certain feeling like they're hot shit. Sometimes I do that on the gram. I'm making sure that I don't do that a whole lot, but I get it. I'm with it. I completely understand. Very, very excited for that. But long and behold, guys, the moral of the story is we need more D3 level 3 chargers in Atlanta. We do, but it's rare, but it's something that happens out there. So I wish we had that for sure. Okay, so let's get to the topics of conversation because I have a deep conversation later at the end of this pod. So stay tuned. But I got to get my reviews out for sure. Let's start with the TV reviews. Yes, on this episode we will talk about Raw on Netflix this past Monday. That was yesterday. We will talk about that after this topic. There is this show that I watch now, and I do encourage people to watch it now. I would do a kind of a half review, y'all, because I haven't finished the series quite just yet. But there's this show that is called Paradise. Paradise is one of those great shows. Boy, howdy. It's on Hulu. And like I say in every show, I like shows that got something to do with some sort of politics or president, right? I love Designated Survivor. I love House of Cards, Madam Secretary that I've watched, West Wing, the newer seasons of West Wing. I didn't go all the way further, but down. But oh, and the one you guys already did a review on this, Zero Day. That was another good one for Netflix. But this one comes from Hulu, and it's called Paradise. Is starring Sterling K. Brown. He is Agent Collins, and this show so far is really good because you had Sterling K. Brown, and then you had James Marsden. If you guys don't know, James Marsden played Tom in the Sonic movies, right? So he's big in Hollywood right now. He just had a big movie in theaters, and now he's on a hit show. Very, very good. Now, and I'll kind of give you kind of the basis of the few episodes that I've watched. Like I say, this is kind of a half review because I didn't finish it quite just yet. But Sterling K. Brown's character plays an agent that, performs service outside with the president. Now, James Marsden plays the president, right? And he's working undercover on James Marsden's character's detail. And after that, after James Marsden's character, after his presidential term, it is true that they get right. Presidents do have some sort of immunity. They have some sort of protection, and their salary. They'll have big houses, and they'll still have agents to protect former presidents, right? That still happens today because that's part of the job that they get guaranteed of. But James Marsden's character dies because somebody hits him over the head with some sort of weapon, right? Now, this is where the story starts to unfold a little bit because James Marsden's character, he's portraying like the good old white dude, but then he might say some racist remarks at one part. The first couple episodes, he was like, yeah, I picked you because you were black, but turns out one of the agents the other agents is black. She has an affair with James Marsden's character, and then the first lady has a problem with it, right? And then you got Sterling K. Brown, who has 2 kids, and his wife was an engineer and a scientist, but then there was a plane crash, and then she dies. Sterling K. Brown, in his service before his detail, he was a pilot. His dad is a pilot too. Within the episode, the dad retires because the dad has Parkinson's. What else? Within this series is really good. And here's the twister. The first episode, they get it off the bat. I'm thinking this is real life. They're in the real world. They're just, turns out towards the end of episode 1, they're in an undercity, right? They're under the real world because there was a pandemic that happened within the real world, causing them to build an underground city for protection, right? That really twisted me up because I had no idea when it was Sterling K. Brown's the shot, and then he fades away, and then they point to the sky, and then there's a line. I'm like, oh, this is sci-fi. This ain't real life. This is a sci-fi show at this point, right? And I do like how the way this story is cut again. The first few episodes that I saw, the way that it was cut, y'all, it was cut as in like this present happened where James Marsden's character dies and Sterling K. Brown finds out. But then there is some backlash, right? There's a back in the past and then fast forward to the future. So they're kind of going in between the timelines while telling the story. So all of it kind of gets glued in together for the final episodes, right? Sterling K. Brown is one of those phenomenal actors. He's been in a lot of dope stuff. A lot of good movies and a lot of good stuff that I've seen him do. He performed really, really well within the series itself. So I really am a big fan of Sterling K. Brown. James Marsden he's a good actor too. We know him from the Sonic movies. So that's really good to see him coming from a big box office movie in theaters now to a hit series for Hulu. And this is a score 1 for Hulu. Let me tell you why. Because a lot of networks are trying to build the perfect show, right? HBO Max, Netflix, Hulu, Stars, Prime. Everybody's trying to build the good show that everybody's talking about. And it's about time that Hulu got to win with this show, right? Obviously, Hulu's been trying to do a lot of dope shows, like Reasonable Doubt was one of them. That's a good show that that we're still watching. So it's one of those things that Hulu's trying to catch up to Netflix and Prime and really do it out really well. I'm here for it. I'm so here for it. I'm so glad for Hulu to have this great show. That's all I can really talk about right now. I'll um, dabble more into the series as the series comes along because I haven't watched the complete season one yet. I did hear that they got renewed for season two, so I can't wait to see what happens next within season two. I think it's going to be very, very impactful. If you guys know, go check it out. Paradise. It's available right now. Another show, slight review, like 5 seconds to you because I just watched episode one. I didn't watch it. Morris Chestnut stars in a new show called Watson. Watson, if you guys know, John Watson is the partner of Sherlock Holmes, but I like it. I like because a lot of people didn't like how they changed the character and they race swapped and all that, but I like it. I like it because Watson, which is also available on I think it's on Hulu and it's on Paramount Plus. I have Paramount Plus, so I watch it. And from CBS, Watson is kind of like another version of Irrational, right? Irrational is another great show that I encourage people to watch. That's what it kind of reminds me of, like another spin-off version of Irrational, right? Where the show, this is what I'm saying too, when the show has smarts, right? I know that sounds kind of weird just now, but hear me out, y'all. I like a show that keeps you on your toes and makes you think too. I like shows that are very scientific. They're spitting some science, common sense. This is rational, science in the show, and it makes you think. I love it. It's not like dumb TV where it's just a story that just doesn't make sense, but it's science behind Watson. And to see Morris Chestnut to be in a different light other than his movies. Look, one thing that Morris Chestnut and directors do every time Morris Chestnut is in this movie or shows, he has to take his shirt off. So the woman to say, "Oh, look at Morris Chestnut. Oh, look at that chocolate bar." He's always taking his shirt off. Like, all right, man, Morris Chestnut, we get it. You're ripped. Ladies love you. You fine. I get it. You don't have to rip your shirt off on every show that you do. But that's Morris Chestnut. He does that. I'm kidding around. I would love to work with Morris Chestnut in a movie. I would, but that's what he do. I'm gonna take my shirt off so my abs can show on camera. And then he did again, I'm not fantasizing on Morris Chestnut's abs, but hey, I go to the gym. I find motivation. He did the chest pop up. I'm like, okay. You doing too much. But like I say, Watson is a good show. Again, I like shows that are expressing science in a show. It's really, really good. Very good shows. Finally, we got some good shows coming out. I can't wait for Thursday because Beauty and Black continues on with their season one on Netflix. That's Tyler Perry's hit show. As soon as I get done watching the rest of season one, you best believe there will be a review on the podcast. But shout out to Great TV right now. And hopefully we get some new games. I'll be honest, y'all. I haven't played video games in the last few days because it just haven't had. I don't know. We just haven't had anything good to play quite just yet. I mean, Deliverance Kingdom Come 2 was okay. I mean, I'm struggling on it now. I might reboot Hogwarts Legacy because I saw something on TikTok. Somebody's playing it, so I might reboot that game up again to play it again. But there's not really too much new games out right now. I mean, we were waiting for Switch 2. We're waiting for new games for summertime. So, who knows? Sonic Racing Cross Worlds, who knows when that comes out? But we hope that we get some new games so I can do more game reviews. Speaking of review, let's talk about it. I like to talk about it for sure. WWE Raw. So WWE Raw, again, they were live in Buffalo, New York, and this was the aftermath of the Elimination Chamber. They really sold the story of John Cena turning heel. I still can't believe it. I can't believe that they made John Cena turn heel, but I think it's going to work. I said it in last episode, but I'll say it in this one. I think it will work out for the better. So within the matches here today, or on Monday, we've had a lot of great things on Netflix this past Monday, live from Buffalo. They're really turning up the heat when it comes down to WrestleMania, which is really good because we are officially in WrestleMania season. So I like it. I dabble on into it, and then we're getting ready for April and whatnot. So you guys know how I do. I like to read the sales of Buffalo because that's just something that we like to do here on the show. Let's see. They were at the KeyBank Center. That's in Buffalo. They distribute 13,861. They had 82 tickets available. Let me tell you why this was really good. Off the bat, when the show started, CM Punk cuts a furious promo segment to where he calls John Cena and The Rock bald frauds. Really, really dope. I love CM Punk. I was rooting for Punk to win the Elimination Chamber. That didn't quite happen. And he is fired up. CM Punk is fired up. He wants to know why. He wants to know what happened. He wants to know everything that happened between John Cena down to Seth Rollins cheating him out of the win. And then, and then when he got out the car, he was in a Grand Wagoneer. He come out the car, pulling up, slammed the car. He's walking. He's like, I'm going to the ring. Like, really, really dope. One thing I noticed too, and I just skip ahead. A little with Kaiser did this too. I really like it where they're starting to look towards the camera. It makes it feel real. It makes their character pop a little bit more. I think superstars should continue when they're cutting their promo, look directly into the camera and get a close up because it just looks good, right? It shows the seriousness of their segment and their promo that they're cutting. So Seth Rollins comes out. They're beating the living hell out of each other all over the arena. That is the wrestling that I love. I was watching it last night at home, and I was like, holy shit, they really going at it, right? They did it at the stage, near the ring, in the back, really, really dope. They were mad. They were really mad at each other, and I'm here for it. I'm so here for that. I'm here to see all of that greatness that comes down to it. It was very, very good promo, but it was very good. I can't wait to see what's going to be next. I think we are going to see Rollins and Punk at WrestleMania. We're probably going to see Seth Rollins versus CM Punk at WrestleMania. Maybe I want to say Saturday night because they're doing the 2-night event thing at WrestleMania. I think Saturday night we're going to see it, right? Very, very good. And then you had Gunther versus Otis from Alpha Academy. Let me tell you, Maxine Dupree. I'm starting to grow on Maxine Dupree. Because, baby, she looked good for Monday night. You see that skirt? Good Lord, have mercy. I kept saying, because the camera, she was in the camera. She kept trying to, you know how girls like to pull the skirt down? Like, baby, that skirt you wearing is a little too short for you. That's why you kind of have to keep pulling it down and stuff. She looked good. Maxine Dupree looked good. I really like this match because Otis gave us a good fight. Otis gave us a good fight against Gunther. I didn't like last week where it was Akira versus Gunther. Akira, he gave us a moment, but he got destroyed. Otis put up a good fight. Didn't win against that. And then Jey Uso comes out, and then they're doing the whole promo there. They're beating each other up, and then Gunther goes for the sleeper at the end of it. I think we're going to see, I think Jey might take it at WrestleMania. I really do think it because Gunther is getting a little bit in his head, but in a good way. There was this thing too that Gunther, there was a picture, I think WWE posted it, Gunther's old picture of him when he was a little bit more chubbier versus him now. Pause, but Gunther looked good Monday night. Like he looked swole, right? Back then, he was just this, puffy, tall, puffy type of superstar, but now he's shredding up a little bit. Really, really good to see. Then we had Laura Valkyria versus Ivy Now. I'm not a fan of Ivy Now. Look, I said it in previous episodes before. I think she got a little bit of talent. It's just, for me, it's her face. Her face just looks, I don't know. Her face just looks unappealing to me. I don't know what it is. And she probably good at night. She probably is. But the face, it's just the face is just kind of like, so but muscled, right? She's muscled. It's good to see Laura Witt continue her intercontinental title. Of course, Laura Valkyria wins that match. I like this match better than their first match because, and this was what 2 Mondays ago. Ivy now got her ass kicked, and I think I said that on the podcast. She got her ass kicked the first about two Mondays ago. This match we had a good match. And then you had the American Alpha, American Made versus the War Raiders. I think this was just the American Made night because you had Ivy Now's match, and then now you had the Alpha American Made match. Very, very good. Very, very good to see the War Raiders. It was I forgot his name. That's in the War Raiders. It was his birthday, so of course they're not going to make him lose on his birthday. But very, very good to see that tag match again. I think. I just here's the thing. I hope that WWE doesn't do. There is so much talent in WWE that I want them to continue to utilize. And when I say that, y'all, I don't want to see War Raiders American Made again next week. I don't want to see Laura Valkyria and Niall again next week. Right? Because it gets stale. Right? There are too many superstars in the business to give them a shot and give them a storyline. So where, and I get it, they got to fit into the storyline. I understand. But there's so much that has to go on within these superstars at WWE. I don't want WWE to continue using the same 5 superstars each week because it's boring at that point. Right? I do like it how they have to tell the story with the cut scenes and boy howdy, they were telling the story about John Cena turning heel. That's keen on that with this past Monday. But to see all of that and to see cut promos and interviews, I like how they're doing it because they have to tell the story. I understand too, towards the end of it, this was the Io Sky and Rhea Ripley match where Bianca comes out and she's dancing around for a very long time. That is what you call filling time, right? Show ends at 10:30. They were early, so Bianca has to fill time, right, for timekeeping sake. So I get it there, but if you are early on something, I would plan a short match or something, right? WWE, although they're doing something great, I want to see more from them. I want to see more superstars because there's just so many superstars who are traveling with the team and traveling with the company, but don't have much to do, right? The Kaiser promo was really good. Again, like I said at the beginning of the segment, Kaiser, along with CM Punk, they looked right into the camera. I really love that. I think a lot of superstars should do that. Penta comes out, attacks Ludwig Kaiser with their whole little brawl. It was great. I'm glad that they didn't have a match again, this because we saw them 3 weeks in a row already, right? Penta is a good superstar. Do I want to see Penta every Monday winning? No, not really, because there's so many other superstars. Lyra and Ivy Now's match was great, but do I want to see them face off again next week in Madison Square Garden? No, I don't. 2 Mondays is good. Let's get somebody else in there now. But really, really good. And the main event, and this is the thing too, I'm really glad that my ladies are getting main events of shows. I really like it. Io Sky and Rhea Ripley's match was fantastic. Bianca Belair prancing around the ring to fill time was very interesting, but very, very good. And then, of course, Michael Cole and Pat McAfee clapped them up. Of course, there was something that they said, I guess, viral moments went out for Pat McAfee when it came down to what he said at Elimination Chamber about Canada booing the United States national anthem. And I said this on yesterday's episode. I'll say it again here. You're in Canada. And I'll say it again. Pat McAfee, please do not get political. I get it. He gets paid to be courageous and say whatever and I like it. I like that Pat McAfee's doing his thing. I like that he's open what do you want to say? But you got to understand the politics of it, right? You got to be careful because although, again, and I said this yesterday, and I'll say it again, although WWE is an American company, it's an international company, right? Canada fans, India fans, Asian fans, Europe fans, South American fans, right? We're international, so you have to leave the politics aside. Is what I'm saying. But the Io Sky Rhea Ripley match was really good. It was good to see Mommy back on top. She lost the belt though. She lost the belt. Look, I did not see that coming. I really didn't because she's been on top for a while, and I thought we were going to see a Rhea Ripley and Bianca at WrestleMania. There's no shame on Io Sky because I really love Io Sky too. She's very, very talented, but I did not see that coming that Rhea Ripley was going to lose her championship on Monday night. Did not see that coming at all. Very good match though. Beating the living hell out of each other is quite amazing. I love to see it. I'm here for it. But it's one of those things that look, I get very, very interested when it comes down to matches like that. And, you know, they gave us their all. Bianca played a story into it. When Bianca was trying to pet Io and them to get back in the ring, Rhea Ripley comes out the ring and gets in Bianca's Belair's face and pushes her. And Bianca said, bitch. So that was pretty cool. She kept looking back at somewhere at WrestleMania sign. When she kept doing that, I thought Jade was going to come out. Boy, howdy. If Jade Cargill came out and attacked Bianca, that's your storyline right there. That is a storyline right there. I'm very interested to see how that storyline's going to go. Like I say, and then WWE, they posted on their social media after the fact, and they had the camera on Bianca as her reaction when Jade Cargill came out. And I said it in yesterday's podcast. I'll say it in this one. Bianca Belair is a great actress. Like, and she legitimately, she was sad about it, right? But if she played in a horror movie, Bianca Belair would do really, really good. I think she would do so swell. But she was banging, she was crying. Like, look, I can't wait to see what that storyline was. But then that distraction caused Rhea Ripley to lose her championship. So I'm interested. I'm interested to see how far Io Sky could go. Not to say that because I'm a big Rhea Ripley fan, but I'm an Io Sky fan too, and Io Sky deserves it. She puts her body on the line for these matches. Each time that she's in the ring, she performs really well. I'm here for it. I got to say, I'm here for it. So that was the whole Raw on Netflix in Buffalo. Again, we look forward to Madison Square Garden when it comes down to it, to see what else. We will have some more matches. We will have CM Punk and Rollins in a steel cage match in Madison Square Garden. Excuse me. Very, very rightfully so. It's Madison Square Garden, so you got to make sure that your numbers are good for Madison Square Garden. That is a big arena. So Raw was good. It was very, very good. Very, very entertaining for sure. I do mean by what I say though, T. Let's not use the same 5 superstars the next week. Let's use somebody else. Let's get somebody else in there. I really can't wait until SmackDown comes to streaming so I can talk about SmackDown too. The reason why I'm only talking about Raw because I have Netflix. I don't have cable in my house. So cable is with USA Network, and that's how I miss SmackDown because I don't have cable in my house. I have to just kind of go by what I see on Instagram or X or TikTok, right? So really, really good. Now, before we talk about the Oscars, I wanted to talk about this thing again, a little bit politics. I promise you guys I'm not a politic type show, but something struck out to me, and we'll talk about it real quick, T. You guys want to know what New York Mayor Eric Adams said? Let me see if I can load that up in real time real quick, right? Let's see if we can get that going because this is very interesting. Let's see. This video has been floating around.
So,
here it is.
This is a biblical moment. You know, when Jesus was on the cross, he said, God, forgive them, for they know not what they do.
You're tuned
All
into the
these
Swanky
Negroes were
One.
asking me to
New
step down.
K.L.P.
God, forgive them.
I'm sorry. I played my tag and hold on.
Yeah, you better tell him.
Are you stupid?
No, Eric Adams, but you are.
I'm running my race right now.
The event you had at the Gracie Mansion last night, where you spoke about Black History Month, and in it you said, quote, all these Negroes who are asking me to step down, God forgive them. Are you implying that if you're black, you have to support you?
No, not at all. I'm asking for all New Yorkers to support me.
So who are you
I've been clear
specifically
on that.
talking to when you say Negroes?
Yeah.
Well, who has stepped down? Who has asked me to step down? If you look at that whole speech, the speech talked about the continuation of lighting your flame and continue to light and shine. And that's what we've done in this administration with our team. So those who have called for me to allow my flame to prematurely be extinguished, that's who I'm talking about.
So you're saying all New Yorkers are Negroes?
I thought I was very clear in my definition of what I said. All New Yorkers, we got 8.3 million New Yorkers, 8.3 million people didn't call for me to step down. I get just the opposite when I'm in the streets.
So anybody who's black who calls for you to step down, they need help from God. I'm focusing on this because your use of the word Negro has come up repeatedly over the last couple of weeks. And I think some people actually have an issue with that term. So explain who you're talking to when you use that term specifically.
I didn't say they need help from God. I said pray for them. Wasn't that what I said?
You said, quote, God forgive them.
Exactly. Let's pray for them. And so let's focus on this for a moment. Isn't our democracy is based on who the people of the city elect? Why are we trying to disrupt and take the power away from the people of the city who elected me to be the mayor? And then ask the question, what have I done that we're going to usurp that power from the people? I have not been convicted of a crime. I've moved the city forward. I've done the job that New York is asking me to do. And so when you have those that are trying to usurp the power of the voting rights of the people, that is not democracy, and God forgive them.
All right. So here's my 2 cents in Eric Adams. And I speak with humbleness because I truly love New York. Obviously, I have 3 documentaries about New York fashion on Prime. It is true. Eric Adams haven't been convicted. He's been alleged. He was going to go to trial and see how that was going to go. But his good old buddy Donald Trump pardoned him out from his case. He's been pardoned and he will not be facing any trials and tribulations of what he's done. I'm just going to come out and say it. You got to be careful with some of these politicians, mayors, governors, presidents, because honestly, I think they all try to play the game to get ahead. We all know about the politic game. But this is something that I've been telling my friends, my colleagues, and I really fend for this stuff. The derogatory name, Negroes, right? I honestly wish that we could stop saying that within our culture. Without getting politics about it, it is true. When you say a certain slur or a racial term within the culture, you got other cultures thinking that it's acceptable to say that about us, to us. And you got to be honest. I got to be honest. Eric Adams, I think he lost his damn mind. I think he's losing it. And I'm not sure where if you're going to look, the word Negroes we've been called Negroes for over 400 years now, right? People, although you shouldn't call us Negroes, you'd be surprised. People are getting more bold in this year alone by being comfortable about calling us out our name. You'd be surprised. The places you go, the certain geographics of that place you go, you got to be careful as a black man. You got to be careful as an Indian man. You got to be careful as an Asian man. You got to be careful as a white man too. But we've got to stop saying those derogatory names within our culture, I think. It's Negroes and the other N word. Y'all know the two other N words with the ER and the GA at the end, those two slurs. Because we say it in our culture because, it's in within our culture. We're having that notion like, oh, we're black, so we can say that. No, not necessarily, because I don't call my other black colleagues Negroes and the other two other N words. Right? I don't. I call him my friend, my buddy. I even say bud. What's going on, bud? I know a lot of white people say bud, but I say that because it's something that, and we're from the South, so we say that a lot, but you got to be careful with that. And then when you be around people that hear you call your friend the N word, and then they're going to think that it's okay because, hey, you said it to him, so why can I not say it? And then there's a whole nother conversation that goes around into it, right? I think Eric Adams, people didn't want to dethrone Eric Adams for power because he's black, right? They're trying to dethrone him because he's a crook. He's done some shit that is kind of not forgivable. And then he wants to come out and say that he's the perfect mayor of New York, and then want to call out the black people when I can't, because I don't live in New York, but this is just my 2 cents. They want to dethrone him because he's done some things that's just like, I don't know. And it was the same thing that, hey, without getting politics, he got pardoned, right? He's done some stuff. He was getting ready to get convicted on something, and Trump said, no, pardon him. And now he's drinking that Kool-Aid. Now, a lot of people will say it makes sense that, hey, because a lot of rappers, and I think we talked about this too, rappers supporting Trump because Trump getting them off of some stuff that might incriminate them, right? I just think we got to make sure that we don't use that saying. And then it is kind of distasteful when you have a black man call other black people Negroes, and the crowd, y'all heard it in the video, the crowd just cheering him on. I'm like, that doesn't sound right. That does not sound right. That sounds like we are pinning, in my eyes, and what I'm hearing, this is just my opinion, it's not a fact. To me, that just sounds like we're pinning against each other as a black community, and we're not supporting each other as a black community. And this is kind of what I said in my wrap-up video, my wrap-up podcast last year, that my last employer, I worked with an all black female team, and they pinned against me, and I'm also black, right? It's the same kind of feeling here that we're so focused in competition with each other. We don't realize some things. We're not, and I guess it's called being woke, I guess. We don't understand a lot of things because we're so busy fighting each other, being against each other, that we're not supporting each other as we move on. Right? And then when we fight, and then this is just a hot topic, when we fight against each other, some of us go to our other counterparts, our great Indian culture, our great Asian culture, and our white culture too. We rely on other cultures to help us out because they got our best interests at heart, right? I've said it too before that there's a lot of, I won't name their names here on this show because this is a hot take, but I have a lot of Asian, Indian, and white friends that got my back more than my black people do. Right. And I said that because that's what it is. Some of us, now I'm not going to say all of us in the black community, some of us were pinning against each other. So when Mayor Adams called other black people, I think he's calling other black people Negroes in New York. That's what I think. That's what I picked up on it. And that's where that news anchor is like, he's trying to understand what he said and what he meant by that. Eric Adams is drinking that Kool-Aid because he's scot-free. Right? So he's going to do some rash decisions and some weird decisions because he sold his soul. Some people say that it's unmanlike for him to do, but some people could say, hey, he did it because Trump saved his life. He ain't going to prison. Now, I would never do some corrupt shit to get to do where it's diabolical and it could convict me. I'd never do that. But I can say if there's a way for me to not go to prison, I'm going to take that bet. Because I said it on multiple episodes. There's quite a few things that I'm afraid of. The top 4 is failure, snakes, STDs, HIV, any sexual transmitted disease, because when you pee, it burns. That scares the living shit out of me. And prison or jail. So I get it. Would I sell my soul for it? No, because I would never do some corrupt stuff. I'll play it by the book. If it was me personally, if I was mayor, I play it by the book. But then in turn too, when you play things by the book as a politician, you may not win that election. It's all a twist here. Guys, comment below what you guys think about Eric Adams. I think he lost his mind. I think this is a case of, hey, we're pinning on each other. We're fighting against each other. Some of us are fighting against each other in the Black community, and we got to stop that. We've got to support other Black people out here in our community because other coaches, they're supporting each other, and that's how they win. This is how we lose when we're against each other. Sorry, not sorry. Had that happen before my last employer. They pinned everything against me, and it was all Black team. And that was, hey, the same example here. Eric Adams, hey, these Negroes, come on now. Why you say that? I don't know. Tough world in New York. Like I say, we'll keep an eye on to see what happens with that as well. Yeah, so moving on, because I got some more stuff to talk about. You know, I got more to talk about. Shout out to Lisa, Ray, and Doja Cat. They were at the Oscars. They performed a tribute to James Bond. That was a great, all 3 of them did amazing. Lisa sung Live and Let Die. Doja Cat, I think hers was the best. Doja Cat sang Diamonds Are Forever. Let me tell you, Doja Cat, hey baby. Doja Cat, if you guys don't, I listen to Doja Cat. My little brother, they love Doja Cat. Every time I'm around with them, they are blasting some sort of Doja Cat song. I get it, because I love Doja Cat too. When she performed at the Oscars of Diamonds Are Forever, her sing range is so goddamn good that she raps, she sings, she's pop, but when she can sing, when she has the opportunity to go on stage and sing, she sings her ass off, because she sung Diamonds Are Forever, and her vocal range, and there was no scratchiness. She hold her tune. Very, very dope. I really love to see that. Doja Cat, I always thought she was fine. Doja Cat, fine. I ain't gonna, she's fine. And to see her vocal range is amazing. I really love to see that. It was very, very dope to see that tribute. I'm a big fan of the James Bond movies too, the newer ones, and a little bit of the old ones too. I wish Idris Elba would do James Bond. I think that was a great opportunity. If somebody say, hey, Kennedy, we want you to be James Bond for the next movie, yes, sign me up, right? James Bond is a $1 billion damn near franchise to miss out on. I would love to see a new James Bond video game. If they made a James Bond new video game, oh, they will make so much money, right? James Bond video game for PlayStation 5, oh, yes. They did Indiana Jones, so why not this one, right? But I think the movies are really good. It's good to say Daniel Craig, he said he done. I get it. Hey, you don't want to do it no more. You don't want to do it. We can't force you. But I think Daniel Craig can still go. But like I say, they performed a tribute to the Oscars. A lot of good movies won. I will watch and do a review of Emilia Perez, because Zoe Saldana, she wins her first Oscar for Best Lead Role. Supporting role, I think it was. Very, very good to see her win that. She was very emotional, and I was rooting for Zoe Saldana. And it's not to say that Ariana Grande didn't do good in Wicked. She did. I hope Ariana Grande is great. She looks sick to me. I think there's something wrong with her. I think she hasn't been eating or sleeping, because she looks skinny and frail. Ariana Grande looks like if I just push her over, I will break a bone or two, right? I hope I don't know what it is with her, with losing all that weight like that, and she looks very scaly. I don't know. I hope she's good. But Zoe Saldana, great health, did really good in the movie. Is so I heard. I haven't seen it yet, but I'm very proud for that. And it makes me want to go watch that movie. I haven't watched Wicked yet. I'm just not a super fan of Disney musicals that much, but maybe I will one day. The Real Plan or The Real Pain. I think it's called The Real Pain. I forgot his name, but he plays Roman in Roman Roy in Succession. I'm blanking out on his name. But we all know who he won for at the Oscars for that movie. So I'm probably gonna go out and see that movie too. Very good movies around, but Zoe Saldana, celebrations all around. Congratulations on your first win at the Oscars. All right, so my last moment here on the podcast, I wanted to talk about this because someone asked me this. And I guess I'm going to leave it as an open-ended question, T, when it comes down to it, because the question is, have you ever had a moment to where you liked somebody, but you know they got a relationship? So one of my homegirls, she came, she texted me, and she's in a dilemma because she likes one person. She likes this guy, and she knows that this person has a significant other. And when I say significant other, I mean boyfriend. I don't mean marriage, because they're not married, right? And this is the question I'm asking: if you like somebody who got a boyfriend or a girlfriend. I'm not asking for somebody that you like who is married, right? Because I always think you never want to mac on anybody who is married. That is, to me, that's a big no-no. Some people do it, but that's a big no-no. So I'm not asking that question on this show. I'm asking if you know you like somebody that has a boyfriend and girlfriend, what do you do? So she texts me that. She's in that dilemma. And for her case, the guy that she likes on Instagram, you can tell, like, when they watch a story, you can see that their account pops up that, hey, they watched your latest story, right? We all know that. She tells me that this guy, without putting names out there, this guy watches her story a lot when she posts. Rightfully so. And then there's been some sort of conversation, some sort of chit chat back and forth, just kind of like, but then he always say, yeah, me and my girlfriend. And that's where she kind of pulls back with it. And I'm here to tell people, first, this is what I will say as a joke, because this is what I said to her, and I was joking. But every joke has every meaning. There's every meaning to every joke. There's some sort of seriousness about a joke, right? I told her, if you like somebody who have a boyfriend, girlfriend, that doesn't mean shit. And I said that as a joke, but it's not really a joke. Because what I've seen in today's generation, that a lot of people might have their boyfriend and girlfriends, and they post on the gram that they're so in love and they're out on a date and they're doing their thing. But then you really wonder, are they really happy in their relationship, or are they just doing that for the gram? We don't know what that relationship goes through outside of social media. We don't know if they have some sort of bad conversations, a fight. And Lord, and I'm single, ladies, I'm single. I pray that I never get into a fight with my future girlfriend. I don't like fighting. I don't like making my girlfriend cry. I don't like making her feel like she's less than. That's personally for me, baby, let's not fight. Let's talk. Right? That's me personally. I don't like to start arguments, but you don't know if that relationship has those conversations of arguments to where they realize, damn, we dating each other, but why did we date each other again? So that's what I told my girlfriend. I told her, my friend that's a girl, I told her, that don't mean shit though. It only matters if they got a promise ring, a wedding ring, or an engagement ring. Right? Because like I say, it's kind of the same saying, y'all. You never want to mac on a girl at the gym if she's with her dude. You never, that's just bro code. A lot of dudes don't do bro code, but that's bro code. It's the same kind of concept here. If that person is married, especially if you have kids, bro code. Break it off. You don't even want to deal with that. You don't. Find somebody else. Again, I said that as a joke, and she took that to heart. And I said, I'm serious, but I'm not. I'm kidding, but I'm not. And there's another saying that we want the ones that we can't get, but then we shit on the people that we have. That is the saying. I'll say it again. We want the people we can't get, and then we shit on the people that we have, relationship wise. Because I'm like that too. I liked quite a few girls, even recently, that, you know, I see them on their Instagram story, and these girls are models and stuff. They post, and it's something about it that just attracts me the most, right? I get so attracted to it. Like, oh man, I would be a great boyfriend for her. And she's and then you see her and her boyfriend. It's like, oh shit, I forgot you had a boyfriend. I'm sorry. I really should not like you because you're taken. But then I ask myself again, what I just told my girl, that don't mean shit though. They could be posting just for the gram, just because of gram. Anybody posts anything just to make it look good on the gram. But what kind of conversations are they really having outside of social media? What kind of fights do that look like? Is your boyfriend providing, right? Because let me tell you, this generation of women, they want somebody who can provide. Is he providing? Is he taking you out on dates? Is he paying for it? Right? And I'm not saying, hey, I can do all that, because to me, honestly, that's kind of like gold digging a little bit. I prefer my peace, and I've said it again too. I prefer my peace and serenity. Like I say, my future girlfriend, whoever she is out there, I'm me. I'm the bubbly podcaster who's corny at sometimes, but work out and looking good. But I may not be chiseled jaw and a brawn 8-pack. Not yet, anyway. 8-pack, not yet. I think I'm pretty handsome. I'll say it. But I'm not super chiseled, right? And the boyfriend that some of these girls that I liked, even recently, they're chiseled, and they're some of them kind of skinny though, like they're scrawny, but chiseled and just look handsome. I'm like, all right, well, I dick must be good, I guess. I don't know, but that's the same kind of feeling with me, and I'm learning to. I've learned to understand bro code and to understand that, yes, I might be attracted to this specific girl based off what I've seen on Instagram and meeting her personally, or seeing her personally before, and something attracted to me that to like that specific person. But then I told my friend, I said, hey, even I forget that the person that I like or have an attraction to, forgot that she had a boyfriend. And based off what I'm seeing from social media, they post and they look so goddamn happy. So it's just like, well, the last thing I'll say on the podcast, and I said this to my girlfriend, that the saying is true. Yes, we do want the people we can't have, and then we shit on the people we do have. But you kind of have to move on, right? You kind of have to move on, because you don't know the relationship behind that person and what the fights might look like. I think every couple fight. If I know that there's a couple that don't fight, I'll give them $1 million. Every couple fight about something. A lot of young couples fight about stupid shit, but a lot of couples do fight about something. Right? And I said to her, you might have your stuff put together. My friend that's a girl, she got her shit together. She really do. We're one of the. That's why me and her could never date, because we got our shit together, and we got strong business personalities, and it just, she's like a sister to me. But I told her, you got your priorities super straight. How do you know he got his priorities super straight? And she's like, that's saying, Kenny, that's saying something, Kenny. I said, no, it's true, because the girl that I've liked and had attraction, quite a few girls I had liked and had attraction with, I thought with me having my shit together, they may not have their shit together. Right? And then that's another thing where I back out on, like, I don't want to date somebody who ain't got their stuff together. Yes, I'm not saying about having a degree. I prefer my girlfriend to have book smarts and be educated. Right now, y'all know I'm working on my PhD, right? I want somebody of that level too. But, beggars can't be choosers, right? But that person may not have their shit together. And you don't want that. To where you're paying for everything and taking care of her, right? Same thing with my girlfriend. I say, you don't want to take care of him if he ain't got his shit together, you got yours together, you got to back out. And I'll say this one last thing, T. Because I told her this while we wrapped our conversation. I said this, though. But he is paying attention. He may not tell you that he's looking at your story, but people, I've learned, people who watch her story of not her bragging about her having her life together, but like being very successful. Because I post my stuff not to say, haha, look at what I got. I post to show my success and to say that, hey, anybody could do it. There's no book on how to do it. Anybody could do it. And I've had a lot of girls like my stuff and see what I'm doing because I'm very successful, whether it's school. I'm posting schoolwork, y'all. I made an A on an assignment. I'm posting it on my story. And girls like that. They see that, ooh, Kennedy, he working on his PhD. Oh, he washing his car. Oh, he look good in the gym. Girls might linger over there to see what's on the other fence there. Even though they got a man right here. But their eyes do wander over there to see what you got going on. Is it greener on the other side? That's the same saying when I said at the beginning, I got a boyfriend. That don't mean shit. Your eyes still wonder. Your eyes still look. What's on the other side of that fence there? My grass here looks a little gray. Is it green over there? That's what I said to her. Like, people in relationships, they still wonder. Except for the ones, if you're engaged to get married and stuff, they don't wonder. You shouldn't. But people who are just boyfriend and girlfriend, they can break it off tomorrow and be good. They look on the other side to see what's over there. What this person can provide that my main person can't provide right now. Right? I don't know. It's tricky. Y'all comment below what y'all think. I think I'm going to post this part on social media, too, to get the buzz going for sure. That's going to wrap it up here on the K.L.P. Aftermath. Yes, we're over an hour podcast. I try to give y'all over an hour podcast. I try to do it on this show because this is one of my favorite shows to do. And I'm very appreciative for everybody who's listening to it. Everybody out there, again, we're celebrating 10 years. Hallelujah. I'm so blessed and highly favored for that part. Ladies and gentlemen, please remember to like, comment, and subscribe to our channels. If you're listening on Spotify, Apple, iHeartRadio, Amazon Music, Facebook Watch. We also will be uploading our episode on Mixcloud. Yes, our podcast is coming to Mixcloud. Ooh, tongue twister there, T. As well as our DJ sets too. So we're trying to push shows everywhere. So like us, listen to us, share with your friends. And because we love to hear it. We love y'all. That's going to wrap it up here on our show here today, K.L.P. Aftermath. We'll see you guys in more episodes this week. This week, we're going to be having Prime Time in the Morning and possibly What Happened Was podcast with me and Evelyn as well. So until then, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, thank y'all for staying tuned. We love y'all. Peace.
Go! What's going on in Hot Atlanta? Live from Swanky 93.3 and the Heat 94.6 brings back the hottest hip-hop radio show live from K.L.P. Entertainment and K.L.P. Studios. Go! It's K.L.P. Aftermath. Morning with your host, K.L.P. Kennedy Lucas.
You know what it is? Put your hands up.
Tune in now on any audio platform.
Go.